Hello, and welcome to the first video in the series on my new PC build. If you are considering building a new PC, I hope to provide some tech industry news and some hardware purchasing advice. If you want to skip to a specific topic, links to each section are in the description down below. Let's get started. If you are building a PC within the next few months, there are a few things that will influence hardware availability and pricing. Due to the global pandemic, hardware supply lines are compromised. The selection of hardware online or at your local retailer has likely decreased since the beginning of the year, and this has increased the price of some hardware. This is especially true for power supplies. Highly rated units are out of stock, back-ordered, or going for a large price premium. Even if you aren't planning to build a PC for a few months, you might want to order a PSU now. Reports suggest that this shortage will continue into 2021. At the other extreme, memory and solid-state storage such as SSDs and NVMe drives are down in price. Experts anticipate more decreases towards the end of 2020. So if you need RAM or storage for an upgrade or new build, now is a good time to buy, but if you wait a month or so, it'll likely be even better. Another factor influencing hardware supply and price is the upcoming unveiling of the new Ryzen CPUs by AMD, RDNA 2-based GPUs by AMD, and Ampere-based GPUs by NVIDIA. In fact, by the time you watch this video, NVIDIA will have announced its new 3000 series of video cards featuring the Ampere architecture. But as of recording, there are no definitive dates for AMD's announcements. To take advantage of hardware prices and fluctuating availability, I'm buying my parts separately as sales occur. I'll be building a Ryzen-based system for general productivity, gaming, and light content creation. I built my current desktop PC back in 2012, so I'm due for an upgrade. I'm waiting for the AMD and NVIDIA announcements before deciding on a specific CPU and GPU, but the rest of the hardware is here. Before I realized that RAM prices will continue to fall, I found this G.Skill RAM on sale and picked it up. Because I'm aiming for a compact build, I'll only have 2 RAM slots, so I opted for a 32 gig kit. This runs at 3200 MHz, which I think is a good price to performance compromise. Ryzen processors benefit from faster RAM, for example 3600 MHz, but those kits sell for about $30 to $50 more. Okay, so now let's get to the PSU. Small form factor builds typically require an SFX power supply, and the Corsair SF line of power supplies is one of the some of the highest rated with respect to performance, efficiency, and quality. This one in particular is rated at 80 plus Platinum, so very efficient. The SF750 that I bought is way overkill for my system, but the SF450 was sold out, and the price difference between the SF600 and 750 was only $10 Canadian. So for the extra $10, I get 150 watts more. But the SF750 has 2 additional plugs for graphics cards, so 4 plugs in total, and an extra SATA power cable for peripherals. Also, the PSU will be completely silent with no fan running up to a load of about 300 watts. In contrast, the SF600 Platinum's fan will kick in around 175 watts. So, inside, when we open the box, we have the documentation, so 2 booklets. One is the electrical hazards and warranty information in multiple languages. And the next one is the instruction manual, again in multiple languages, this one containing all the specifications and installation instructions. And if you do decide to pick up one of these Corsair SF series power supplies, be aware that Corsair did issue a voluntary recall on some models. The specific lot numbers that are affected by the recall are posted on this forum. I will provide a link to it in the description down below. In addition, that lot number is also available on the outside of the box, and so if you're shopping in store, you can actually check that lot number before you purchase. Here we have the power cable to connect the PSU to the power outlet, and some desiccant there to prevent humidity building up. We also have Velcro and zip ties for cable management. And then we have here the individual cables. So sorry for the noise. Let me open this carefully. And inside we see one of the benefits of the Platinum line is that these are individually sleeved cables. So you can see that these are individually wrapped. I believe this is nylon, and so this will actually make it a lot easier to perform cable management and route cables around the various components, especially in a small form factor build. In addition, we also have the SFX to ATX bracket. So small form factor builds require an SFX power adapter, or PSU, and these are typically smaller than the ATX power supply units that are available. And so this bracket allows the SFX PSU to be used in ATX cases. Now we get to the actual PSU itself. Let's move this out of the way. So we have the PSU here. We see the badging on the front, the wattage and other information is there. We have the 0 RPM fan that will only kick in at around 300 watts, or a load of 300 watts. We have a sticker advertising and reminding us of that fact, so that we don't think the fan has failed and return it. It actually does not turn, or does not activate, it does not turn on until the load reaches about 300 watts. So again, this is the SF750 by Corsair. This is the Platinum version. And here we have all the connectors. So we have the 24-pin motherboard connector. And then we also have 4 connectors here. 2 of them are the EPS connectors for the CPU. Typically you only need 1, but there are some motherboards that require 2. Again, this is way overkill for most small form factor build, so you would only be using 1 of them. And then the other 2 are for your graphics card, for the PCIe Express power for the graphics card. Again, you would probably only need 1 of these because the small form factor build would likely only have 1 PSU. And each of these cables has 2 connectors on it. So if your graphics card requires 2 connectors, you would only need 1 cable, because 1 cable would have 2 connectors on it. And then these 3 connectors over here, these 3 6-pin connectors, those are for peripherals, so Molex connectors and then SATA power connectors. That is another difference between the SF750 and 600. The 600 only has 2 of these peripheral connectors, and only a total of 3 of these 8-pin connectors. So that would be 2 for the graphics cards, with 1 connector each in that case, with that model, and then only 1 EPS for the CPU. Again, that would be sufficient for most builds, but this is overkill for most builds, and especially the build that I'm considering. If you're planning a new build, how are you dealing with parts availability and pricing? Let me know by posting a comment down below. I'm spacing out my hardware purchases, so I don't know when I'll be posting another video. You can subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to learn about any new videos that I post. If you found any of this helpful, please click or tap the like button. Thanks for watching, and take care.